What's up, Tiki Team? Welcome to my hot tub stream. We're gonna grind some gears today by running the first ever Zombies map tier list on the channel. Y'all are gonna love it. I expect nothing but respectful comments and just everybody's gonna completely agree with me in the comment section down below. Let me know what your tier list is down there. Keep in mind we are only doing Treyarch maps here, so don't expect to see like some sort of weird Exo Zombies map that you for some reason love. I want you guys to also know there's only going to be one top tier map. I'm talking the top of the top, the greatest map of all time. Only one. Can you guess what it's going to be? Leave it in the comments. So here are our tiers. We're going to go S, A, B, D, and F. Alright, we're not going to have a billion different tiers. We're going to keep it at 5 tiers here. Let's get started. We're just going to kind of go in a random order here. Let's start with 5. 5, Black Ops 1. Where are we putting 5? Any ideas, YouTube? Honestly, I'm going with D. 5, I didn't love it. I did not love 5. It was not the greatest time of my life. I was so bad at the game, I would get clapped every 5 seconds. 5 is the D for me. Call of the Dead, YouTube. I'm going to put Call of the Dead as a B. Not great, not bad, somewhere in the middle. Call of the Dead was really fun, and I really do think that they had a really cool thing going with the cast and like what the map was. And I think the Easter egg was pretty like alright, but it's not my favorite map of all time. Transit. Ooh. This might be one that really triggers some people, because people either love Transit or they hate Transit. So I'm going right in the middle. Transit is also gonna be a B map for me, just to really grind some gears. Die Rise, absolute F. I absolutely despise that map. Die Rise is my least favorite map of all time. That map was so annoying. The Sliquifier was cool, but my god, the elevators and having to go up and down the elevators, you couldn't even get PhD Flopper. They were just like, see PhD? Nah, Die Rise was awful. Gonna go down here to Verrückt. I'm gonna put Verrückt also at a B. Verrückt was pretty cool, but it was kind of scary. And eventually, like, the map held up pretty well, and I think that the original iteration of it was a lot more fun than the iteration that they put inside of the Zombies Chronicles in Black Ops 3. I think that Gobblegum and stuff in Black Ops 3 just kind of made it a Nuketown Zombies, I'm going to make that a D as well. In Nuketown Zombies, there wasn't a whole lot to it. It was just kind of run around Nuketown like you always do and shoot zombies instead of people. Nothing too exciting. Shino Numa. I'm going to catch a lot of flack for this one, but I'm putting Shino Numa also at a D. Shino Numa, like, I played it a couple times, and I mean, the Wonder Waff was great, of course. I really liked Shino Numa for like first room challenges. I thought that made it really interesting. But the swamp, like, the idea was cool, but it really annoyed me. Classified, I'm gonna put at a B. I think that the Easter egg with Classified and the Easter egg ending for Classified was awesome. And just like storyline wise, Classified was great. But it ran on Black Ops 4, which was, alright, we have to find something to put in the A tier here. All right, in the A tier, we are going with, you guys ready? 9. 9 is easily the best map in Black Ops 4. That is not a question. The best map in Black Ops 4 is 9. 9 was a ton of fun. It was super simple. I think that if that map had ended up being literally like all the same stuff, but it had ended up being a Aether map instead of a Chaos map, done. Easy. Top map of all time. In my opinion, that is what 9 is what saved Black Ops 4. And to go along with 9, we're gonna have to go with Voyage of Despair, and I'm gonna put Voyage of Despair at an F. F for Voyage of Despair. The Easter egg was so annoyingly hard, and like the map itself was just so strange. I mean, I think the boss fight was cool, but the Easter egg was so annoying, and I remember looking for it forever. And then the Easter egg ending cutscene was just kind of weird. Like, it was just like, okay, but it really didn't do all that much for me. Now we're gonna move on to, let's go with The Giant. The Giant, I'm gonna put at a D tier, just because it is a remake of this map, Derice, which I'm gonna put at an A tier. Derice, maybe it's more just the fond memories I have on Derice, playing with my friends like at like 2 in the morning. But so the Giant I'm putting a little bit lower just because it was, I mean, just a remake. Obviously there was more stuff on the Giant and it had the Black Ops 3 engine, but just for nostalgia purposes I'm putting Derice at an A and the Giant at a D. Moving on here, we're going to go to Ancient Evil, and this is going to shock a lot of people, but I'm going to put Ancient Evil at a B. I think again, same thing that I talked about before. If Chaos either would have just kept going, or if it would have been an Aether map, it would have been so much better. And Ancient Evil, I'm kind of a sucker for Greek mythology, so Ancient Evil was super cool in my opinion. And the idea of like Medusa and all that stuff, I thought that was super cool. So we're going to put it at a B. Rip me in the comments if you have to. Now we're going to go to Moon, and honestly I'm going to put Moon in the A tier. I thought the Moon Easter egg was super fun and different, especially like for when it came out. It was kind of like a different Easter egg for everything else that we already had in Black Ops 1. Think back to the time of Black Ops 1 where you do the Moon Easter egg and you just blow up the Earth. And you're like, what? Like the Earth is just, the Earth is gone, dude. The Earth is gone. People are gonna hate me for this one, but I'm gonna put Nuketown Toten at a D. At a D. That map was just so boring, in my opinion. Like, obviously, it's the very basis that Zombies was created on, and it, for when it was made and what it did for the storyline and like Zombies in general, amazing. But the map is just so boring, and especially in the original Nuketown Toten, if you don't get the ray gun, you're screwed. You're only making it to round 20, yeah, if that. You know, it was so bare bones, I just got bored so fast. Alpha Omega, huh? Alpha Omega, I am going to put at a B. Thought about putting it at a D with Nuketown Zombies, but it did add a little bit more with Camp Edward, which I thought was cool. Still, Alpha Omega, I mean, the Easter egg was just annoying. I thought the boss fight was like okay, and then the ending cutscene, I mean, it was a comic book cutscene, which was awful. It could have been good if they would have done anything useful at the end of Black Ops 4, but they didn't. The end of Black Ops 4 was terrible. So we're going to put Alpha Omega at a B. We have a lot of good maps left here, so let's go with D Machina. D Machina I am putting at an A. D Machina is a ton of fun to play, and I like how it incorporated Nuketown Toten, but it didn't completely rely on Nuketown Toten to be the main premise of the map. And I think D Machina has a lot of replayability, and it's like one of those maps where I go back and play it, and I really enjoy just going for high rounds on that map. Kino Der Toten. Kino Der Toten, I'm gonna put it a D. It was so, Kino Der Toten was so disappointing for me as to like how they just decided to end the zombie storyline. Like maybe that's why I put it so low, is because they ended the zombie storyline by just being like, meh, you know, Kino Der Toten, I like the idea of us going back to Call of the Dead, but it just didn't really do a whole lot for me. You know what I mean? Like, this whole storyline that we worked so hard and that we've been loving for the last 10 years, and we played as a Victus crew, and, you know, in the end, everyone just died. Spoiler alert, by the way, if you haven't already seen that. Dead of the Night. I am putting Dead of the Night at an F. I really liked Dead of the Night when it first came out, but the vampires just got so annoying. And the map itself, like the idea of the map is cool. Again, if it would have been Ether, it would have been great, but it wasn't. The idea of the map was really cool, but it just didn't do. Now we're gonna go with Buried. Buried, I'm putting it a nice B, almost A tier. I would love to see Buried remastered. We need Buried remastered soon. But I'm gonna put it at a B just because I decided to. Blood of the Dead. Ooh, I am gonna put Blood of the Dead here at a D and Mob of the Dead at an A. Blood of the Dead I think the story for Blood of the Dead was incredibly interesting. I think the Easter egg was absolute garbage, and I think the cutscene at the end was great, but the Easter egg was trash. As for Mob of the Dead, I mean, Mob's a classic, and I didn't play it when it first came out because I wasn't really into Call of Duty at the time. But going back and playing it, that map is so much fun. Mob of the Dead is just, I mean, it's an instant classic. And going to the Golden Gate Bridge, flying over there, phenomenal. Ascension was great. I'm putting it at a B as well. Ascension was a lot of fun and used to be the map that I had the record for my highest round on, which was only like 96 at the time. But still, Ascension, a lot of fun. I really like Ascension. But, I mean, compared to all the other maps we still have left, it's like, meh, you know. I just realized Firebase Z is not on this list, and I am recording this before Voyage Der Toten comes out. Firebase Z, I would put Firebase Z like at an A or a B. I'm not sure. I'm gonna lean towards A, and Voyage Der Toten, I'm just assuming, is gonna be an S tier map for how freaking long it took them to put it out. Shadows of Evil. Shadows is certainly an A in my opinion. Shadows, I hated that map at first. I despised Shadow at first, and I don't know why. Shadows was such a good map, and it was so much fun, and it has so much replayability. The only gripe I have with it was the 4-player Easter egg. Only gripe I have with Shadows. Otherwise, that map is phenomenal. Revelations, I'm gonna put it a D. I thought the idea of Revelations, again, was really, really cool, and they obviously tried to play really hard on the nostalgia, but I feel like the map itself was kind of a disappointment for the end of Black Ops 3. Like I said, it was good, and it was cool to go back and see everything from all those maps, but it wasn't the best. Zetsubo no Shima, huh? I am putting Zet at a B. I think Zet was a really cool map, and I think a lot of the stuff, like, Zet gets a bad rep, in my opinion. I think, like, going back and playing Zetsubo no Shima is still a lot of fun to this day, and I think, like, the fact that you can just become a spider, super cool. Like, the boss fight, meh, the bucket system, meh, but the fact you just become a spider and fight Big Mama Spider, that stuff was so cool at the time, and, like, when we would do, like, the Easter egg, the Anywhere But Here Easter egg, where we'd end up, inside of, like, that room with the dragon egg, which, speaking of which, Gorod Krovy, I am going to put at an A. I made a tier list like this a few months ago, and I had put Gorod Krovy lower, and my best friend Joe talked me out of it. The Gorod Krovy Easter egg was really hard, but also I'm really bad. But the different things like the Dragon Strike, the defense rounds or whatever, the lockdown, the Gauntlet guy, the little Dragon Gauntlet guy that breathed fire, that was sick. Like, a lot of the stuff in Gorod Krovy, looking back on it, is super cool, and I really just wish we could go back to that time. I wish there was a way to know that you're in the good times before they're over. So that brings us down to 4 maps left. We're going to take Shangri-La, and we're going to put Shangri-La at a B as well. I think the map, beautiful. Probably one of the most beautiful maps in Call of Duty history, especially when they did the remaster for Zombies Chronicles. It was a pretty hard map, and playing it online was kind of annoying. I think the Baby Maker is one of the cool, like, pointless, but one of the coolest wonder weapons I can, in recent memory. Just the idea of just turning little baby zombies into kicking footballs. Like, that was such a cool idea. Again, the map was beautiful. The idea, but like the lore behind it was super cool. So Shang is going to be an A. Now, there are 3 maps left on my list, and only one map is going to be S tier for me. Only one. Okay? We have Der Eisendrache, Kino Der Toten, and Origin. So which of these 3 maps is going to come out victorious? With only one being able to be the top spot, I am going to take Kino Der Toten, and Kino Der Toten is going to be an A. Kino is the very first map that I ever played inside of Call of Duty Black Ops, and Kino, like, I have a love for Kino. The most fun I've ever had playing Call of Duty Zombies was in Kino, but I also have to recognize that Kino had its faults, and the fact that we might be getting it again in Voyage Der Toten, super cool. But not everything about Kino is great, and that's why it falls in today. With 2 maps left, who is going to be the S tier map between Origins and Der Eisendrache? Who's it going to be, YouTube? I'm not really sure. Like, what is my favorite map of all time between Origins and Der Eisendrache? It's going to be a toss-up, but let's do this thing. Origins is going to be an A tier. Origins, super cool. Again, like, what it did for the storyline, like, Origins was the turning point in Call of Duty Zombies. When our boy Blundy B came and took over for Jimmy Z, like, this was the turning point of Call of Duty Zombies. Origins, it literally set up the storyline for years to come. And I just think the map was incredible, but there can only be one S tier map, and that is going to be Der Eisendrache. This map was incredible. The Easter egg was great, the map looked great, the wonder weapons were great, the boss fight was great. Everything about Der Eisendrache was perfect, in my opinion. I cannot think of one thing in Der Eisendrache that I don't like. I really can't. I thought the Easter egg was so much fun. the Easter egg and like the lore behind the Easter egg, the idea was so cool. And it was the beginning of Black Ops 3, and the beginning of Black Ops 3 just, Black Ops 3, best game in Call of Duty history. Der Eisendrache, easily the best map in my opinion, so this is my list. This is going to be my list. Let me know in the comments down below how you guys feel about this list and what changes you would make. I know these comments are going to be so nice. Be sure to be friendly to everybody because everyone's going to agree, right? I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you soon.